Text completion, we are looking at number 80. The relationship between the two leaders has gone from positively dash to chilly at best. Now, chilly simply means they are cold shouldering each other. That means they are not even looking at each other. They are no longer friendly. There is a what you call cold war. Uh, Not least because the recent arms scandal, a scandal is a legal or moral wrong. A legal or moral wrong. Remember, there are many GRE issues on scandals. Out of the 300 issues, a couple of them, one of them is like this. Scandals are useful because they tell us much more than any reformer could. So you will obviously write an essay in which you will talk about some scandals which are useful in the sense people will get to know who are the real leaders. New laws will be passed to prevent bigger such scandals from happening and all those things. So there's a general awareness in the people and all that. So in that sense, these bank scams and stock market scams, all these, in cricket, doping or fixing matches, all these scandals are useful in the sense we get to know that these kind of things happen, and so new laws are framed and to prevent bigger such things from happening. And we'll also know who are the real, role models who deserve to be respected and who are the cheats and the frauds, right? So in that sense, scandals are useful. You will write 2 paragraphs about what kind of scandals are useless. Usually affairs that film stars are having or some cricketer is having some affair. This is a moral wrong. But then too much importance is given to this, and a lot of TV time is wasted, and even sometimes books are written. So these are useless scandals. So if you can write an essay saying that not all scandals are useful, some of them are, and here is a list, or what 2 or 3 paragraphs you will talk about. Every scandal has a suffix, the gate, GATE. It started with Watergate scandal, which is a very famous political scandal in America. Watergate complex is the name of the building where the Democrat head office is situated even now in Washington. So Richard Nixon was the president who sent some people to bug the Democrats' head office, and these guys got caught and thrashed, and the scandal came out. And Richard Nixon finally apologized to all the Americans on national TV. So he said, "I'm not a crook." That speech is still available on YouTube. So finally, Richard Nixon was disgraced. Of course, he was not impeached, he was not removed because he apologized. And a lot of other things came into light. That is, he collected funds illegally to win elections. That is called slush funds. SLUSH, slush. Slush actually means melting ice. Slush funds is a term, a jargon, political jargon, which means funds illegally collected to win elections. So then new laws were passed, and even the President of America comes under the purview of the laws. So how political parties can collect funds is also specified, and new laws were passed. So that is gate. So you have railgate, you have slapgate. You have this, Harbhajan slapping Srishant. So wherever you see the suffix GATE, so that was the tradition that started from there, Watergate scandal. So you have all kinds of gate, GATE. So let's leave it there. Now, let's get back. Your answer for this one, parsimonious. Let's look at the words. Parsimonious means very stingy, miserly, spending very few, frugal. Parsimonious, you can remember that as Parsis don't spend their money, which is of course not true, but then we are using a mnemonic here. Parsimonious means very miserly, conjuice, or in a sense positive. That means spending very, very carefully, very frugally, thrifty. Reverent is respectful. Congenial means friendly. Bolster, blank to, bolster means to support or strengthen. Used as a noun, the word bolster means a pillow, a cylindrical pillow which you have on a divan. Erode, that means reduce. Fester, fester means to rot, rotting, fermenting. Now, the relationship between the two leaders has gone from positively congenial to chilly. And the next word should be erode. Now, let's go to the second one, 81. Let's look at the words below. Officiousness. Officious means offering unwanted help. Sometimes, you come across people who are a nuisance, a headache. You'll have to tell them mind your own business, because they never mind their own businesses. They want to mind other people's businesses. You call them a busybody, BUSYBODY. Quidnunc, Quidnunc. Quidnunc. Officiousness is a negative word. That means offering unwanted help. Veracity, truth. Veracity means truth. Artisan, highly skilled craftsman. Fatuous, foolish. Fatuous means foolish. Sardonic, very sarcastic. Mordant, mordacious. Sharply sarcastic. Caustic, acerbic, ascetic. Apposite means suitable, fitting. Incongruous means not fitting, not suitable, not compatible. Dissimilar, daunting, challenging. Dauntless means courageous. So daunting means something that's scary, challenging. So you see the level has gone up here. Now I have to tell you things rather fast because otherwise the audio file will become too big. One need not resort to arrant. Arrant means total, complete, arrant nonsense. Resort to arrant dash in order to demonstrate that one possesses the requisite degree of deference and respect for one's elders. So, flattery, arrant flattery. You don't have to do flattery to show that you actually respect someone. Indeed, oftentimes such blandishments means, flattery or anything that is offered to flatter someone, can make one appear foolish, fatuous, and ignorant. Qualities presumably dash with the original intent, incongruous, right? So that's the word that fits. It doesn't incongruous with the original intent. Now let's go to the next one. 82. This let's look at the words below. Blank 2, mitigate, reduce. S2, give up. And blank 3, ideological or ideological, based on set of ideas and philosophy and all that. Flashy, showy. Debates over free will have always focused on the extent to which humans may said to be fully dash their actions. Now any of the first words fits. Actually, let us see what should fit. Free will is actually whether we have the power to do what we really want to do. Modern science says we don't, because it's all unconscious. It's all unconscious, and then it comes to the by the time it comes to the conscious, you are driven to do something. So anyway, that debate is always there. Some people believe there is no free will. Everything happens as God intends them to happen, and then there are others say no, there is free will. So this is a debate in philosophy. Now let's say. Dr. Wegner, in his article, deliberately, intentionally, and artfully, very skillfully, dash the traditional talking points of the controversy instead asking a tangential, though possibly more dash question. And what effects does a person's belief in free will have on his or her well-being? So this is a level 5, my dear friends. You'll have to read this slowly, carefully to understand. I think the answers have to be responsible for first blank. And Dr. Wegner, very skillfully, what he did was he eschewed, that means he avoided the talking points, and after avoiding it, he's asking actually, instead of facing that, he is eschewing it, avoiding it. And he is asking a tangential, that means unconnected, but though possibly more fundamental question. He's asking a more fundamental question. So think about it. That's the pair. And if I explain this too much, the audio file will become too long. You can contact me again in case if you don't understand why. So let's leave it there. Go to the next one. 83. Factotum, all-purpose assistant, Man Friday. Detractor, one who unreasonably criticizes. Zealot, over-enthusiastic, fanatic. Zeal means enthusiasm. Blank 2, magnanimity, generosity, nobility of character. Blank 2, last word, fealty, loyalty. Blank 3, tantamount, equal in amount. Blank 3, next word, reciprocal, exchange, mutual exchange, give and take. Quid pro quo, QUID, That means you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Give and take, log rolling. Hinging on, depending on. Now let's say, once the candidate established herself as the clear front runner, it took but a brief interlude, means an interval, in the clamor. Clamor means loud noise, disorder, chaos. For all her erstwhile, means former, detractors. So all her erstwhile former detractors, but means earlier, there were people who were criticizing her, but now she has established herself as the clear front runner. That means she's going to win the election. And then what did they do? To gather around her and begin loudly proclaiming their fealty, that means loyalty. It seemed, in other words, to cause these newcomers not an iota, means small amount of discomfort, to behave in a manner that a casual observer might have characterized as tantamount to outright hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, as you know, double standards. That's it.